Hi, I'm Egan Kealy with CBS Xerox. I'm here today at the Griffin Health Teaching Kitchen, partnering with Team Inc. for our virtual Men Who Cook event. Looks a little bit different this year, but we're excited to be able to partner with you. So I got involved with Team Inc. First and foremost, I think a couple months ago, I partnered with Team to provide some diapers from their diaper bank and transport them to their Derby location so that you could offer your services to the people that you serve. We're going to do a little bit of chicken saltimbocca. It's Italian for jumps in the mouth, so it's a very high impact kind of flavorful dish. It's something that my fiance taught me how to cook, as she's mainly Italian. And yeah, I'm excited to walk you through it today. If we take a look at our ingredients over here, I've got some chicken cutlets. I'm going to be pounding flat. We've got some prosciutto that we'll be wrapping those in. And under the prosciutto, we're going to insert just a few fresh sage leaves. And as you can see, I've got a few cooking over here, a few already wrapped so we can show multiple stages of the process. We'll go ahead and get started here. So I just use, regular chicken breast. I like to cut it nice and thin here and then pound it so that it's about a uniform thickness, about a ½ an inch thick. The reason that you like to do that is just so it all cooks evenly. You don't want some pieces undercooked while some pieces are overcooked. Nobody likes overcooked chicken. Even fewer people like undercooked chicken. Go ahead and flop that up. Make sure we're careful to throw that away. Be nice and safe with our raw meat here. So the first step is just to kind of place a few sage leaves down onto the chicken itself. If you're using little leaves, use more than if you're using big leaves. Then once that's prepped, I'll move this to the side just for a quick moment. Grab our wonderful prosciutto here. Can never have too much of this. And then what I'll do is I'll just put a few leaves down here on the prosciutto itself so that when I lay the chicken on top of it, we'll have sage on both sides of it. Alrighty. So that looks like that. Give us a nice little 1, 2. Now I've got 3 perfectly packaged little chicken prosciutto nuggets of goodness that are going to go into our hot pan here. I'm going to go ahead and start cooking on our secondary stove here. So you want to do these over about medium-high heat. We'll get a little bit of olive oil going. Now when you put the chicken in the pan, you don't really want to touch it much. The reason being that you want it to stay in the same spot and kind of brown up and caramelize a little bit so that we'll have, when we take the chicken out, we'll have a little bit of stuff stuck to the pan that will then deglaze with some white wine and some homemade chicken broth. We'll have a nice wine sauce at the end. All right, so as this is heating up here, you can tell when the oil starts to shimmer and move around like that, you're good to go. Now this, as I said before, chicken saltimbocca is Italian for jumps in the mouth, so there's a lot of flavor, a lot of stuff going on. You got the sage, you've got the prosciutto, you've got the white wine sauce, kind of bringing it all together at the end. I love this dish. It actually reminds me of, I'm not Italian, but I'm from the South. My grandma growing up used to love to make biscuits and sausage gravy. Similar flavors in there. Sausage gravy always has a ton of pork and a ton of sage. So kind of a similar unifying thing here. When my fiance made it for me, I kind of fell in love, and it's one of my favorite things to cook. So I'm happy to share with you guys today. As you can see, we've got our chicken moving a little bit. As we said, we don't want to disturb that in the pan. We want it to kind of brown right where it is so that we can scrape up all that goodness at the end. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and pop these green beans on so that we can have everything done kind of at the same time. You'll see that I've just capped all the green beans. We've got about a ½ pound of green beans in there, as well as a half of a lemon. So what I like to do with my green beans is just do them right on the pan here. Just a small amount of olive oil in the pan. Get that nice and hot. And we're just going to kind of scorch or blacken some of the green beans, and then we'll toss in some white wine and some water and cover it just a little bit so it steams up after they've already gotten kind of a nice char on them. All right, so at this point, our chicken breasts and the wrap packages here have been browning for a little bit in our pan. Thanks to some TV magic, we have an already done version over here. So what we're going to be doing is taking these chicken breasts out of the pan and putting them on our plate. And then we're going to start reducing the sauce in this same pan. Again, trying to scrape up all that chickeny goodness so we can put it in as part of our sauce. As I mentioned, we have, through the magic of TV, already kind of done most of that. So I'll show you what it looks like as we add our ingredients to the pan, and then I'll pivot over and we'll show you what an already done version kind of looks like. Alrighty. I'm going to add some white wine first. White wine is great because it helps get all those little brown bits that you saw stuck to the pan, helps get them up through the magic of alcohol. What we want to do here is just kind of small circles, just grab, try to scrape up all that stuff off the bottom. That's where the flavor is from both the prosciutto and the chicken as it kind of cooks. So I'll go ahead and dump that in and we'll let that reduce. Now I've also taken the liberty of already dumping in some wine and water into our green beans so that they are ready for us to go here. And go ahead and pop that right there. Now what I like to do is just get that one little lemon seed out of there and then finish them off with just a quick spritz of lemon juice. Lightens everything up. It's kind of a heavy, salty dish, so we want to make sure that it's nice and light and healthy, right? As healthy as we can be right now when we're wrapping chicken and prosciutto. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that. Spoon a little sauce over it. Now because this sauce, it's mainly resultant from the chicken. It's got your sage, it's got your kind of the prosciutto flavor in there. It also has some of that wine flavor, which is the same flavor that we put in the green beans. So to just kind of unify and bring the whole dish together, I like to throw a little bit on there as well. And we will call it a day. That is chicken saltimbocca with lemon green beans.